He stormed over the Atlantic, burned green that night, lightning crawling across the clouds like veins of living electricity. The sky above the New London Spire shimmered as magnetic containment fields fought to hold back the energy tearing through the atmosphere. Miles beneath that storm, inside the subterranean research city of Era, Dr. Lara Keene sat alone in a glass-walled control room, staring at a countdown blinking red on her console. 0 hours, 1 minute and 27 seconds. The reactor breach sequence had already begun. She could stop it. All she had to do was enter the override code, but she didn't, because the voice in her ear, calm, certain, familiar, had told her not to. "Trust me," Commander Elias Voss said through the comlink. "You do that, and they'll trace it back to you. Let the system crash. I'll handle the fallout." She closed her eyes, trying to steady her breathing. "Elias, hundreds of people are still down there." "They're not people, Lara," he said, and for a moment his tone hardened. "You know what they are. The clones. The test batches. They were never supposed to live this long. They think LES, they feel, and they were made to die if necessary." His words struck like cold steel. She wanted to argue, to scream that he was wrong, but the seconds were vanishing. 0 hours, 0 minutes and 41 seconds, please, he said, softer now. "Trust me." She hesitated, one last heartbeat. Then she stepped back and let the timer run out. When the reactor imploded, the shockwave tore through the underground complex, disintegrating everything below level 6. The lab, the containment pods, the synthetic lifeforms she had built over 8 years of work, all gone in an instant. And so, she thought, was her soul. 6 months later, Lara lived under a false name in the Pacific Sky colonies, where the air was thin and clean and the clouds never stopped glowing. She worked as a low-level data analyst, now anonymous. Unimportant. At least, that was what she wanted to believe. But every night, when she closed her eyes, she saw their faces, the clones she'd failed to save. And in her dreams, she saw one face among them, one she'd designed herself, Model 47, the perfect genetic reflection of humanity's potential. She'd named him Elion, though she never told anyone that. He'd smiled when she gave him his name. Now his smile haunted her. One evening, while she was cataloging sensor data in her tiny apartment, a message blinked onto her console. No header, no sender, just 3 words. "He's alive." Lara, her breath caught. She tried to trace it, but the message evaporated into static. Then her comm panel chimed again, an incoming call, a voice she hadn't heard since the day Erebos burned. "You shouldn't have run." Elias. Her pulse spiked. "How did you find me?" "I never lost you," he said. "You were always under observation. I just let you believe you were free." She froze. "What do you want?" "Come to the orbital platform tomorrow. Dock 12. Alone. We need to talk." "I'm done talking to you." His tone softened, dangerous, coaxing. "Lara, you trusted me once. Do it again. You'll want to hear this." And then the line went dead. Dock 12 was quiet when she arrived the next day, too quiet. Cargo drones floated like sleeping insects above the landing pads. The stars stretched across the curved glass ceiling, brilliant and endless. And there he was, Elias Voss, older now, but still carrying that same quiet intensity, the soldier's posture that never left him. His uniform bore no insignia. "You came," he said, stepping forward. "I shouldn't have." He smiled faintly. "Probably not. What do you want, Elias?" He hesitated. Then he reached into his coat and slid a small hollow projector onto the table between them. It flickered to life, showing a blurry image of a containment chamber. Inside, a figure moved. "Human." "Alive, Elion," Lara whispered. Elias nodded. "He survived." Her knees nearly gave out. "That's impossible." The entire lower level was obliterated. "He wasn't in the lower level," Elias said. "He escaped before the blast. Someone helped him." Lara's eyes snapped up. "You?" He shook his head. "No, he's been off-grid since then. But now he's resurfaced. And he's not the same." "What do you mean?" Elias tapped the projector again. The image shifted. Elion's face appeared, half shrouded in shadow. His eyes glowed faintly silver, like liquid metal. "He's merged with the network," Elias said. "He hacked into the quantum core we left behind. He's rewriting himself and the code that defines human DNA if we don't stop him. He'll overwrite the human genome entirely." Lara stared at him in disbelief. "You're saying he's becoming, what, a god? A contagion?" Elias said flatly. "And he's calling himself the heir of flesh." She laughed bitterly. "And you expect me to help you stop him? After what you did?" "I didn't kill them, Lara. You did. You pressed the button." Her hand shook. "Because you told me to. And you trusted me," he said softly. "That's what makes you dangerous." She should have walked away. She should have refused. But she couldn't. If Elion was alive, if he was out there, part of her still believed she could reach him. So she went. They tracked his signal to the ruins of Era, now a quarantined crater glowing with residual energy. Beneath the cracked foundations, tunnels led into the dark heart of what had once been their home. And there, in the reactor's hollow core, they found him. Elion stood surrounded by a web of light, strands of code made visible, shimmering like living nerves. His skin rippled with silver veins. "Mother," he said when he saw her. The word hit her like a physical blow. "Elion," she whispered. "What have you done?" "I freed them," he said. "All of us. The ones you built. The ones he destroyed. His eyes flicked toward Elias. We exist now beyond their control. Elias raised his weapon. You don't exist at all. You're a disease. Elion's expression didn't change. You taught me fear, Commander. You taught me what your species calls trust, and how easily it breaks. He turned to Lara. Did he tell you the truth about the explosion? She frowned. What truth? Elion extended his hand. The air shimmered, and suddenly she was seeing it. The past replayed in front of her like a holographic nightmare. Elias standing in the control room, entering the override code himself, reversing the failsafe, triggering the explosion remotely. Her own voice, faint and panicked, begging for time. His response, trust me. She staggered back. You lied. Elias didn't deny it. It was necessary. They were spreading. We couldn't contain the infection. You murdered them. I saved humanity. Elion smiled faintly. Humanity doesn't need saving. It needs replacing. The lights around him brightened, data streams converging into a single point. The floor vibrated as systems long dead roared back to life. Elias aimed. Lara, step back. But she didn't move, because she finally understood her safety net. The belief that Elias had ever protected her had snapped long ago, and she had built it herself, strand by strand, out of misplaced faith. She turned to him, eyes cold. You used me, Lara. You made me kill them. I did what I had to. No, she said softly. Now I will. Before he could react, she activated the neural sync embedded in her wrist, the same one she'd used to control her creations. Years ago, the web of light around Elion surged. His silver eyes widened in recognition. You still have the link, he said. I always did, she whispered for a moment. Their minds touched creator and creation, human and post-human. Let me fix this, she said. Let me end it. Together, they redirected the energy surge. It flared like a star, swallowing the entire chamber in white light. When it faded, Elias was gone. So was Elion. Only Lara remained standing in the ruins, her neural implant burned out and her hands trembling. Above her, through the shattered dome, the storm had finally cleared. She didn't know if Elion was truly gone or if part of him now lived within her. But she knew one thing for certain. She would never trust anyone that way again, not even herself. Weeks later, a transmission appeared on her console. No sender, no signature, just a single line. The safety net is gone. Now you must learn to fly. And for the first time since the fall of Erebos, Lara smiled, faintly, sadly, but with something like peace, because she knew whose voice it was.